Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Round 14 in the bag. Scored 1109, which wasn't too bad. There was quite a few players that underperformed, but managed to still get some green arrows. Went up rank 1273, so into the top 7%. It was an average week. It was okay. Could have been better, could have been worse, but let's go over everything, see where we're at. So, obviously, the talking point is Cleary is gone. Cleary's gone for apparently 6 weeks. That's what they're saying out of the Panthers camp. So, that is a forced trade that nobody planned to do. So, that sucks. But we go on. We move on. So let's go on. We'll go over everything. So obviously Sonny Luke didn't get a spot yesterday. So he played New South Wales Cup. That's concerning. So I feel like this could be the end of Sonny Luke in first grade. But don't know yet. With Cleary gone, it could move some things around, but I don't think so. I think we probably will see Sonny again, but I think I'm stuck. I think I'm stuck with him. Damien Cook, 66. Perfect. Can't ask for much more. I really want Cook to start running more. I think his running game, when he does that, he is a out-and-out gun hooker. Without Cook's running game, he's very average. So, 66, fine. Fanua Blake with a 63. I think with all of the Warriors forwards now coming back, I think, like I said last week, Fanua Blake's has definitely peaked in price. I think if you're a holder like me, I think it could be time to cash in soon. I don't know if he's a keeper. My plan is obviously to go from Fanua Blake to Payne Haas after Origin. So that's still in the play. I will hold him for a little bit longer though. Horse with a 48, pretty underwhelming compared to what he's been doing lately. I think he's also peaked in price, and I don't know if he is a long-term play, but he does have that dual flexibility. So if you do have him and you don't need to make trades, I don't think he is a must-trade at all. But I will be looking to possibly move him on eventually. Actually, I don't know. He could just stay there. He could just slot into a rotation role between my front row and my second row. I don't have any real reason to move him on, but we'll see. Tarpany with a 67. He is starting to definitely hit his straps. I think this is going to be his new normal. I think 60 plus each week is something that is going to be expected of Taps, however you want to call him. I traded in Katoa, who banged out a 59 in a side that got flogged. Still scored 20 points, but the Storm got their asses handed to them by the Cows, which was very unexpected. Pretty happy. I got it wrong with Luciano Leilua, so I went Leilua up to Katoa, and it worked out well. So I'm very happy with that trade. Tohu with a 57. Nikora with a 69, which I'm happy with because I went Maddo to Nikora. So both of those trades, the Nikora and the Katoa one, have paid off well. Nikora is, if I don't have Fafita at the moment, which I now possibly can get now that Cleary's injured, I think that having Nikora can kind of make it less painful not owning Fafita, but we'll talk about my Fafita plans towards the end of the pod. Lemuelu with a 38. He came off for 10 minutes with a HIA. I think, look, as I said last week, Lemuelu has peaked. I did have plans to move him on, but now I don't know if I'm gonna do that. So, SuperCoach gods have absolutely pissed on us this week. Hosking with a 39. I think he is dead set turned into a plotter. I don't know what to do with him. He's now 49k. He's bled a bit of cash. Yeah, with Cleary out, I think Hosking is going to suffer quite a bit. But, yeah, got a bit of thinking to do with what I'm going to be doing with these players. Hines with a 90. He got 90 against the Broncos side who beat them convincingly, actually. I think that the Sharks got exposed. I really think the Sharks got exposed. A lot of people, including myself, thought that the Sharks would be... Well, they still could be a top 4 side, but they really need to ice games like that at home against the Broncos side who had quite a few players backing up from Origin and still couldn't get it done. So that's a little bit concerning for the Sharks. Obviously, Dillbags was on the bye. Same with Schuster. Huge news there coming out of the Eels camp about Dylan Brown. It looks like he's got himself into a little bit of mischief. So that's going to be interesting to see what comes out of that. If they do sideline Dylan, it's not looking good, because that means Cleary's out. That means Dylan Brown could be out. Hines will probably play Origin, which means all 3 of my halves are in shit. That's not good. So, it's a little bit of a mess if it's a little bit of a mess. So, let's wait and see. So obviously, Asako. So I made the trade from Holmes to Asako. Holmes scored 150. Wow. I still don't know if it was a bad trade, because Asako scored 114. He also scored 100 last week. So that's 214 points in 2 weeks. I don't think I can complain. I think I made the right choice. I think Asako will obviously go back over 800k now. He's got a low break even going into this week. I could get Holmes back into my side, but I need to really sit down and go over what I could do to do that. But I won't be getting Holmes back in until after Origin. So that's a problem for future Daniel. AJ with 107. Got a couple of meat pies. Pretty happy with that. Manu, 41. Again, very underwhelming in a Roosters side that looks shit. Yes, they beat the Bulldogs, but they also conceded a lot of points. I don't know. I mean, let's have a look, right? We're talking about a side like the Roosters who, at the start of the season, I had them a top 4 side competing for my premiership. They have 100% proven me wrong. And I love to see it. I really, really do. I just don't like it when I have Manu in my side and Billy Smith, which I got. I think a lot of people fell into the Billy Smith trap. He has made some money, but I think if you do own Billy Smith, I'd be starting to look at ways to get out of it, because I think he has also potentially peaked in price, and I don't think he's going to be getting you many points going forward. But anyway, with the Manu situation, I'm glad I held him, because if it does come down to it where Dylan Brown is stood down, I could just move Manu up to the 5'8" spot. I don't know what to do just yet, but a lot of stuff will come out this week, and hopefully we'll know by the end of the week. Buller with 118, he just keeps scoring well. I definitely did not expect him to be getting this high in price. I thought when I got him in, it would be about 400k, 450 at the most, and that would be about it. A little bit of a cash grab, move on. Now we're looking at Buller, and he is potentially going to go up to about 650k. I think 650 would be about that about that ceiling for him. I can't see Buller getting to the prices of Latrell, or I don't think that that's going to happen. Is he a keeper? I think that's completely team dependent. I just think that outside of Origin, if you can get guns that have fallen, like Teddy, like Latrell, like Turbo, like Walsh, I think maybe you would prefer to have them. But in the meantime, just enjoy the cash rise from Buller, because he's in for another big cash rise this week. So anyway, let's get to our last one. So, last game of the round. I had 17 players going into the Panthers game, and Peach got dropped to New South Wales Cup, which meant that I was down a player. I had a boost up my sleeve with some cash, and I thought, okay, Dillbags is in a bit of trouble. He could be out for a short period of time. Eels have just gotten rid of Arthurs, so that means there's going to be a little bit of trouble in the Eels halves pairing at the moment, which I think could disrupt the Eels attack. I've got Gutho, and ever since I got Gutho in a few weeks ago to cover these bye periods, he has been very underwhelming. So I thought, okay, what can I do to cover myself for something that could potentially go really wrong in the next coming weeks? So I thought, okay, I can go Gutho to Dylan Edwards, which hindsight has prevailed to be not the best idea for the round that just passed, as he did score 39. I think he would have scored significantly more if Cleary stayed on the field and Panthers put the Dragons to the sword. But he scored a 39. Very underwhelming. Lost a little bit of cash. He's down to 740. I think that in the hindsight of things, I think I probably should have just kept Gutho. But in saying that as well, Dylan Edwards will still work well as buy cover anyway. So yes, I think it could have been a sideways trade, but also it could pay off going forward if the Eels are in a bit of trouble with Dylan Brown being out. And I don't know if that's going to work well for Gutho. So, time will tell. Got him in anyway. Dylan Edwards is a great fullback. He's got one of the best base stats in the game for his position, and obviously plenty of attacking upside with the ceiling. So I could be sitting here in 3-4 weeks time and be like, beautiful, it worked out really well. But outside of that, I'm pretty happy. Nothing major to complain about. So let's have a look at what people could potentially do in regards to this Cleary situation. Now, I think personally the only real option is to go to SJ. Now, I think Moses could be the guy that gets the nod for the New South Wales jumper. He's my pick anyway. I don't know if they're going to go down that Cody Walker path. It could either be out of Moses. Obviously, Hines goes in. I think Hines does get his... I think Hines gets his time to shine. But I'm not sure what they're going to do with Luai. I think if you take Cleary out of that side, I think Luai is going to be a very lost puppy. Now, Freddie's going to have... He's going to have a bit of a decision on his hands whether or not he wants to keep Luai and potentially play someone like a Moses or Cody Walker or even a Reynolds, or he gets rid of Luai completely and pairs a Moses and a Cody Walker, or a Cody Walker and a Reynolds potentially. A Cody Walker and a Reynolds game 2 at Suncorp, both very familiar with that ground. Could be something that could be on Fittler's mind, but we don't know how Fittler thinks. So if I'm going to move Cleary on right now, it'll all come down to what potentially could happen to Dylan Brown, because I could just go straight to Moses, because obviously if Dylan Brown doesn't play, Moses takes control of the team, even though he takes control of the team a lot more. I think that would be the smart thing to do. Or I go down to SJ. It's a bit of a tough one. So let's just have a look. So say if we do go down to SJ, it obviously gives us 240k in the bank. Now, with that 240k in the bank, that can give me a little bit of an ability to be able to go someone like Lemuelu up to a Fafita, because Fafita is going to drop a little bit in cash now because of that 18 in his rolling average. So it's opened up a door, but we just need to see what comes out this week and have a go from there. But the Cleary situation is definitely going to shake up a lot of people's sides. Yeah, it'll be good to go into this week actually with a full side, no buys. I'm going to have a little bit of a headache this week with people to pick in my starting side. So obviously I've got Schuster, Dylan Edwards, Hosking, Tarpany, Katoa, all there. I can't pick them all. So good headache to have, but that comes down to having some decent depth. So let's have a look at how we're looking for the round 16 bye coming up. So round 16 bye coming up, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll count Dylan because we don't know what's going on yet. 8, 9 if I trade Cleary to someone who plays the 16. Hines won't play. 10 Hosking, 11 Katoa, 13 Nickera, 14 Kepi, 15 Sonny Luke. So I will have a good side. I will have some good numbers for round 16, so that's covered without making any trades, or without, I'll probably have to make one. Let's have a look at our round 19. Round 19 is pretty set. So you got Cook, Vanilla Blake, Horse, that's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in Nickera, Harris, Lemuelu, Taps. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 10 currently for round 19. So by the time round 19 comes around, I need to make sure that the 3 trades I make between now and round 13 are 3 trades that will play round 19. But all in all, I think I'm sitting all right. Things are looking good. Saw green arrows. Can't complain. That'll just about do it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope everyone went really well. If you haven't already, sub to the channel. It helps a lot. Give it a like. Let me know how you all went in the comments. Let me know what you're planning on doing with Cleary. Maybe some people hold. Who knows? Let me know what you're planning on doing this week. Let me know your numbers. Thanks for tuning in, guys, and enjoy your week.